Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, how are you? I hope you are all in a good condition. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you to Allah that given us time. So today we can continue our discussion in psycholinguistic subject. We are from a group who would like to discuss about cognitive style. Here I'm Alfia as the first speaker and Wilda Al-Aluf as the second speaker, and then the last speaker is Maufiratul Hasanah. So I would like to explain to you about the definition of cognitive style first. So cognitive style are usually defined as an individual's preferred and habitual modes of perceiving, remembering, organizing, processing, and representing information. We can also say that cognitive style is thinking style. It means every people or every student has their own style or their own way for formulating or organize what they see, what they remember, and what they thought about the information they got. So every student has different way of making approach based on their learning situation. The way they learn, the way they accept, organize, and then connecting their experience, and then their way of responding of certain learning method is different from other students. The next point, I would like to explain to you the problem with the notion of cognitive style. The problem is that style research in the past has not been able to demonstrate enough that the notion of cognitive style is a theoretical construct and the concept become a style in thinking. So cognitive style is still contested. Whether this style actually exists indicate the ultimate weakness of the concept or not. Next is about writing system. Writing system is a popular multidimensional instrument to measure cognitive style. So in 1991, Richard Reading developed dimensional instrument to measure cognitive style, what we call CSA, cognitive style analysis. CSA itself measure instrument to measure cognitive style for individual position on two orthogonal dimension. The first is Hollis analytic style dimension and the second verbal image style dimension. Hollis analytic style dimension determine whether individuals tend to organize of information as an integrated whole or discrete part of that whole. And verbal image style dimension determine whether individuals are outgoing and inclined to represent information during thinking verbally, or whether there are more inward and tend to think in mental picture or image. And the next will be presented by second presenter. That's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wilda Al-Aluf and I'm the second speaker. Would like to explain about types of cognitive style. The first type is leveling and sharpening, two functions that are automatic and exist within memory. Leveling is when people keep out parts of stories and try to tune the stories down so that some parts are excluded. Therefore, it makes it easier to fill in the memory gaps that exist. Leveling might assist in language learning because it promotes data clumping that does reduction of cognitive load, and it might encourage fluency if the leveler is not anxious about making error. And sharpening is the way people remember small details in the retelling of stories they have experienced or are retelling those stories. Sharpening helps language learning because it contributes to making important distinction among speech sounds, grammatical forms, and fine difference of meaning. Next, the second type of cognitive style, that is field dependence and field independence. Psychologically, field independence defined by a tendency to separate details from the surrounding context. This type of learners is able to identify or focus on particular items and is not distracted by other items in the background or context. For example, field independent learners tend to rely less on the teacher or other learners for support, and in the classroom activities such as extensive reading and writing, which learners can carry out alone, are useful for field independent learners. And field dependence, defined by a relative inability to distinguish detail from other information around it. This type of learners tends to look at the whole of a learning task which contains many items. Field dependence can enhance functioning in complex social situations, and complex social situations are in turn often involved in real language use. So this kind of field dependence is likely to play a constructive role.
Well, hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, my friends. And good morning, Miss Mega. So, I am Maufiratul Hasanah. I am the third or the last speaker that will continue my friend's explanation. It is about types of cognitive style. So, my friend has explained you all about leveling and sharpening, and then field independence and field dependence. And now I would like to explain to you about reflectivity and impulsivity, and then intuitive inductive and logic deductive. So the first is about reflectivity and impulsivity. So what are reflectivity and impulsivity? They are one of types of cognitive style that based on conceptually tempo. Nah, jadi ini tipe ini berdasarkan kecepatan tempo. So the first reflective. Students with reflective cognitive style, they are usually take a long time to respond and think the answers accuracy. Nah, jadi mereka dalam merespon atau mengungkapkan suatu pendapat itu biasanya take a long time and think the answers accuracy. Jadi memikirkan apakah jawaban itu akurat atau tidak, apakah jawaban itu benar atau tidak gitu. But considering all the options that are available, dan juga mereka itu memikirkan opsi-opsi yang ada. And high concentration of learning is involved. Nah, jadi mereka juga mempunyai konsentrasi yang tinggi jika sedang belajar. So that's why they tend to give the right or correct answer. Nah, jadi mereka students with reflective style, they are tend to give answers or correct answer. Okay, and the second is impulsive. Students who have impulsiveness tend to give response quickly. Nah, jadi this is the kebalikan dari students who have reflective cognitive style. Jadi yang impulsif ini student itu lebih merespon atau mengungkapkan sesuatu itu dengan cepat, but also make a slight internal error response. Nah, jadi ketika seseorang itu merespon dengan cepat, otomatis they are not think deeply. Jadi mereka itu tidak berpikir secara mendalam. So that's why they are also make a slight internal error response. Jadi mereka itu juga membuat kesalahan begitu. And they will also take a decision quickly without thinking deeply and usually lack concentration in the classroom. Jadi mereka juga kurang konsentrasi di kelas. And next is about intuitive, inductive, and logic deductive. So these types of cognitive style are based on the way of thinking. Jadi berdasarkan cara berpikir mereka. So the first is intuitive, inductive. So this is refers to how to draw conclusions or to take conclusions from specific cases into public matters or something more common or general by using intuition. Jadi menggunakan intuisi. For example, in math study, inductive thinking patterns are used by the teachers in conveying the learning materials start from specific things to more general or common things. For example, when the teachers want to introduce a square concept, the teachers can show the various builds of geometry or pictures of plane figure atau bangun datar to the students and say, this is square. Ini adalah persegi. This is square. And then the teacher show another picture and say this is not square. Ini bukan Ini bukan segi 4. So that's why the student can understand intuitively. Jadi muridnya itu bisa can get the point or understand bahwa misalkan ini adalah gambar segi 4, berarti yang ini bukan begitu. Nah, so the students can distinguish which is square and which is not square. That's all. And for the second, this is logic deductive. So logic deductive is refers to how to draw conclusion from public matters or something common or general into specific cases by using rationality or logic. Jadi ini adalah kebalikan dari intuitive inductive. Okay? And maybe that's all from me. Thank you. And if you have any question, you can ask to us in WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum.